All right, so first one we're looking at is Al. Let's check him out. We got a 90 out of 90. Okay. 1500 attack, EM at 420. Nice number on your EM. Very nice. You got a signature weapon too. Beautiful. 90 out of 90 on that also. You're earning a 2-piece gilded, 2-piece deepwood. Okay. You know, I'm actually not opposed to that set whatsoever. I don't think it's as common, but it makes a lot of sense. Like, I don't see any problem with that whatsoever. So let's start with your gob. Your gob is a Dendro gob. That's your off-piece too. Makes sense. Decent amount of crit damage, huge amount of ER, nice amount of attack, NDM. Honestly, that has every single stat that he needs. So that makes a lot of sense. I definitely like it. I mean, I see no reason to change that. That's huge. There's so much that you need here. The ER is very, very high. He doesn't need a ton of ER, depending on team comp, of course. But overall, though, I mean, there's just so much value here. I mean, attack and EM definitely help him a lot. So let's look here. You got a rate piece here. 12.4 on your damage, another nice amount of attack, NDM, NDR. All 4 good stats again. And then here over 30 CV with some EM on it also. Very, very nice. Another solid piece as well. I mean, missing on defense, but that's all, right? EM is so important on him. And I mean, having 420 with a solid crit rate to crit damage ratio is really, really good. I mean, and then being over 30 on this piece as well is great. So EM main stat here with some rate on it. Okay. I mean, I get it. You're making your sets on this one. So, this is probably your biggest replaceable piece at the moment. So, C0. And then talents are double crowned with an 8 on the normal. Very, very nice. Nice, I'll hide them. He looks really good. I will say, if you can get your rate up a little bit more too, you'll see a bit of more of that. He is a fast attacker. So having regular crits is probably going to benefit you. Your EM is plenty right now, though. Definitely. You're definitely good on that. And you're running a Dendro gob with the 2-piece deepwood, which, I mean, it's a lot of Dendro damage. It's a lot of Dendro damage. Rate would be the only thing. That's the only thing I would say. I think you're good on everything else. Ayato, we got just under 2k attack. Okay. 20k HP. 75, 183 clean ratio. ER at 146. Very nice with a Hydro Cup. All right. Let's go. I like it. Blackcliff Longsword, not a bad option. Not a bad option. You don't see these used too often, but it certainly can be used for him. 2-piece Heart of Depth, 2 Shim. You know, I think it's fine. I think there are options that could be better. 2-piece Hydra and 2-piece Attack is going to be pretty solid all around too. I mean, he has so many options. Let's see. You got a Hydro Gob here with stupid amount of crit rate, heavy amount of ER, and some EM. Good stats. Good stats on that. Right here with about 20 damage. Okay, let's go. I mean, clean piece, 34.2 and a huge amount of ER. And another with a huge amount of attack, though. I mean, that's solid. That's solid as hell. You know, like 25 on that with a nice amount of attack. And then attack onset piece, crazy amount of rate. Crazy amount of rate. What was your rate in the end? It was like 75, right? Yeah, I think you were looking really good on that. And then some ER and obviously crit damage on that as well, too. It looks good. This looks good. I like it. C0, talents are 6, 10, 8. Very nice. Good stopping point. E's the most important. I think you spent it right. So attack at about 1300, probably outside of a rational team. Huge amount of EM. So you're going for an EM build on your Raiden. I like it. This is a new type of build that's really fun. Primordial Jade. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me see something. Just so I can... Your AR-57. Okay, I just want to check. 90 your weapon. That's the first thing. 90 that weapon. Weapons are most important. I don't know if you have the catch. The catch would probably suit you, but you know what? Honestly, let's look at the stats overall. Let's do that. 62.8 and 124. Okay, so Primordial Jade is helping you get to your crit rate ratio on this, which means that the artifacts are probably going to be a little bit light on the rate ratio, which is typically the biggest difficulty when it comes to ride. I still think the catch is the right call because you get 12% rated R5, and then you get a 30% damage bonus essentially. And your ER at 240 is going to be a little bit too light. You're gonna want to get that around the 270 range if you can. Primordial Jade is going to help you with a little bit of attack, but it's just not really the most ideal weapon for it. But if you're running as an EM build, then actually you don't need anything I just said. It doesn't matter at all. If this is going to be an EM build, which is a combo, okay. Okay, so here's going to be my biggest recommendation is do one or the other. Now, maybe your intention is to do a personal damage build, but you just didn't have the pieces for it. That's understandable if that's the case. This is your off piece, though. If that is what you're going to do, you should at least be on an electro piece or, at worst case scenario, an attack piece that has the right stats. Because there's really no, like, in-between for Raiden. You're either a Raiden EM build or you're a Raiden personal damage build. You don't really do in between as far as how to use her like as most effectively. So since that's your off piece too, that means it's easy. If you have an electro piece that is anywhere reasonable, throw that on there. Definitely. That's what I would say. You're running an ER piece right here, and then you would need to change the weapon overall for sure. The catch though is going to help you a lot for sure. 699, I like it. If you're playing for meta reasons, I would say don't touch your E, because now you're at max resolve stacks. Going to 10 on this is a very minimal difference that does not actually increase the damage. I mean, the point of the E is to increase the burst damage of everybody else, right? So after 9, that doesn't go up anymore. So crowning the burst, definitely worth it. Crowning the E, not so much, unless you plan on triple crowning her because you love her so much. Which I know you said she's waifu, so you might be doing that anyway. And if that's the case, then by all means, like, rock out, do it. So get your Ayato. So we got Ayato at over 2,000 attack. Let's go. Almost 2,700 HP. EM at 89. Beautiful. Rate at 63 to 176. Very clean. So here's the thing, though, is that these fast attack characters, you want to have a higher amount of crit rate on. You do, because you're attacking so rapidly, right? And you want them all to crit. They're not like, those attacks are not going to be like big hitting attacks, but when they're critting on each and every one, that's what really like rapidly adds up, right? So 63 is a little bit light. Definitely want to try to get that a little bit higher. Your crit damage is okay where it's at for sure. And ER at 131.7 on him is going to be all right. It's going to be all right because he doesn't have a huge burst cost. So I see you're not using a Hydro Cup, which means you're probably using HP or attack probably, right? Lion's Roar with attack here. No, it's got to be HP then. Otherwise your attack would be higher, right? Eminoma for him, if you're free to play. It depends on what you have, really. Here's the thing, is it depends on what you have. Eminoma is going to be much better than Lion's Roar overall, because Lion's Roar doesn't make any sense on him, right? The sub stat on it doesn't do anything, right? So you're only getting your attack bonus and your base attack on it. Eminoma is going to have a higher attack percent and a higher base attack with an amazing secondary skill too. So yeah, Lazy Dog, you might be right. That's a decent one. The Kazuha one could be perfectly fine. Eminoma is just a great weapon overall. So it's like, if you don't have that, you're not going to regret building it because it can be used on multiple people. But Lion's Roar, I would say, is a step back from what you could be. So 4-piece Glad, perfectly fine, perfectly good. I think that's exactly what I run on my Ayato too. And HP here, I know that it helps his stacks, but it's not as powerful as other things. If this is the best one that you have to make your set, cool. It's okay. You have every single sub-stat that you need on this weapon right now. So it is not the end of the world by all means. If ER was switched out for attack, that's the only thing that would probably be better because you don't need a ton of ER on him. But regardless, you made your ratios on it pretty well like this. So if you can replace the HP main stat, it's worth it. It is worth it, but only if you're going to be in like a good spot with it. Here you got an onset attack with double crit and 51 EM and HP. This is an incredible piece. This is a really, really great piece for your Ayato. This offers so much to his kit. That's fantastic. Really nice on that one. And then your Plume here, heavy damage, a little bit of ER and attack. Okay, nice piece here too. You have a lot of like the right stats on your pieces, which is great. I mean, over 30 CV with some EM and ER on it too, and a nice amount of ER too. That's really great. That's really great. And then let's see the circlet. And your circlet looks great, honestly. I mean, listen, it's two stats that aren't helping a ton. The flat HP is a little bit, it's okay. I mean, flat attack isn't totally lost either, obviously, but 21 damage and 5.2 ER is good. This is solid. I don't have a lot to say about your Ayato. I think your Ayato is very solid. A little bit more crit rate. I think you'll see more consistency, right? You're okay with your 4-piece Glad. Yeah, stop. I agree. I think this is a great Ayato. I run 4-piece Glad on my Ayato too. So Echoes is best in slot for Ayato, but you have to be like 20 ping or it doesn't work. 20 ping, nope. Okay. So stay away from Echoes. And in all honesty, Echoes is like, it's a big investment to farm for that. Under 140, really? I thought it was like 20 ping is where you needed to be. You got to really love the character to go and just farm that set. Like if you're farming for him and Xiao, okay, that makes sense to go for Echoes. Or if you're farming for, you want to get stuff for your Yoimiya as well, like it kind of makes sense. But to just go for one set, it means you're heavy. Like that's your character, that's your guy, you know? 610 on your EM, let's go. Your ER though, no ER problems on this Kazuha. You have a little blend build on your Kazuha. Is this C6 Kazuha? It's not C6, okay. With a sack sword. You didn't finish him yet. Okay, so, Buck, here's the thing I'm gonna say. And as tempting as it is to do this, to go for some personal damage, don't. Just don't. At C6 Kazuha, that's your moment. That's your moment when you start building personal damage. 4-piece VV, over 1,000 EM, those are goals. Those are goals. If you have Zyphos, rock fucking Zyphos. If you don't have Zyphos, Fab is great. Sack Sword basically gives you like a C1 Kazuha, but your ER is built so heavy. Here's the thing about having a C1 Kazuha is a lot of times you don't want to use your second E anyway because you're actually wasting too much DPS time. Yep, Iron Sting will totally work. Zyphos is better though. If you have Zyphos, that's far, far better choice. It's always going to be better than Iron Sting, except for maybe an EM build Al Hytham. Somebody was saying to me earlier. which made a lot of sense too. But yeah, Buck, Iron Sting is fine. Goals are 1000 EM. C6 Kazuha is when you can start going for his crit rate and crit damage. Besides that, you're wasting it because he does so much damage just by his swirls, right? So you're already 90 out of 90, which is perfect. 4-piece VV is the only set. I know you said it's a work in progress, so you're still working on it right now. Constellation C0, fine. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're running a 4-piece VV and you're at 150 ER, then run Iron Sting. If you're at 120 ER, run Fav. Run Fav. That's what Ninja's about to tell you too. Because if Kazuha cannot get his burst on cooldown, then he is losing out on so much of his ability that the extra EM doesn't even matter anymore, right? And Fav is going to help your team so much. It's why Fav is one of the strongest weapons for Kazuha, but if you have your ER covered, then you want to go EM. Then you want to go EM. Con at C0, so we got 4, 8, 9. So here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. The normal attack is a huge piece of his damage. It's a huge, actually his E is the least important skill. While still important, and you would think it's more important because you regularly use it so much, the effect of it is not nearly as important. Burst is priority, normal attack is second because his plunge damage is where his damage comes from, and then his E. I like that you 8 and 9 here. Take this up to 8 too. My Kazuha, I'll show you my Kazuha after too. He's triple crowned. Kazuha is one of my favorite characters in the game. I love animal characters. And I felt that it was worth a triple crown, but his normal attack is worth more than what a lot of people realize because that's where his damage comes from.